we have wide reports of Russian military in different arrays coming through: aircraft, drones, troops. They're being spotted, photos taken, reports being put out, and all of this having to do with Damascus, obviously. And this is my thing. Is when you start talking about Damascus, you're talking about one of the most ancient cities on the planet, biblical, and it states that Damascus shall fall. And these are the prophecies that people were looking for. And when you look at the situation that we sit in today, this is something that could really go down at any given moment. Now, yes, there's been chaos inside of Syria for some time, but people haven't been able to wrap their head around exactly why things have happened the way they have. You see everything going on with ISIS, and at this point you should all know what's going on with that. You see everything that happened with Libya. If you've been following me, you should be up to par with that. Everything that's going on with Egypt, as well as connecting out with Russia and partnering up. And you've heard me talk of why would Vladimir Putin join the U.S. in the battlefield in Iraq against ISIS, and why would he now use the same excuse to go after ISIS in Syria, to form this coalition with Egypt and other countries. Why? Their excuse to get boots on the ground. And that's exactly what they've done. And they're selling it to their people. There was just a big attack in Russia from allegedly ISIS. You see, and that gives them, through their media, the push on the people to send troops, even if it's just from that area, that division, to get the people riled up. Pull them out of there and send them off and get them into Syria. Boots on the ground, where they're down here fighting alongside all these other groups. So what we have here is just that. The same thing that you've seen in Ukraine, and in a different way. But Russian troops, no doubt, were involved and have been and still are and will continue to be involved with what's going in Ukraine. But as you've seen in Ukraine, how did it get there? What country came and overthrew it? What country came in and set up a puppet government? You see, that exact same process is what's going to happen in Syria. But for it to happen, it's got to fall, okay? And it's got to fall in terms of the Assad regime. And I'm not so sure Russia is going to stick by Assad's side all the way through and through to the end. I mean, there's a pull-out point, you see. But Putin is going to have to draw the line in the sand to all these other countries and say, all right, this is it, rather sooner than later. That you cross this line, we're going to fight you. And that's when you finally start to see Russian troops against U.S. troops on the front lines of one of these war fronts. And literally, Assad is being fought by multi-factions all the way around, coming from all directions. And I'm going to try to dig up a little bit more info and cover a video on that over on 777 and go in depth about everything there. And some key things that I think people are missing, and it has every single thing to do with these pipelines. So I'll leave a link for this. Just wanted to let it be known when it comes to Syria, there is action going down here, especially when it comes to troops globally, when it comes to Russian troops being in the area, being seen, being witnessed. We already know what other troops are there and how many different factions, how many different agencies, how many different alphabet gangs. And they've been getting closer and closer and closer and closer to Damascus. Now they're literally right there in the backyard, in the suburbs of the outskirts of Damascus, pretty much. And this is just how we saw it all go down when they came down around Baghdad and they stopped. And the ISIS surrounded Baghdad. They were attacking the airport, attacking all these places, and it was like imminent. They had them surrounded, but then it just all stopped. When you know the game and the world stage, you see why and how. But I know everyone's asking the question, what's so important why is Assad so important to Putin? And that is what I'm going to talk about more in that other video, along with some more information that I dig up. So keep an eye out for that. I'll leave a link. It's been Dabu7. Peace.